Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of the Hugh Virtual Chat. And are you getting mixed messages? I don't know, I feel confused. It's like, close the borders, nobody crossing, but yet, well, now we can allow certain people to cross the border to be reunited with their loved ones. Maybe it's a family reunion with people from another country, or you could be simply travelers from the US and you're driving up to Alaska. So maybe a little stop in Banff to see the beautiful wildlife. But anyways, and then Disney World opened. So things must be back to normal. But then we just read 77,000 new cases in the US alone last week. And the numbers are slowly creeping up here in Canada and even in Manitoba. We have now 18 or more new active cases. So what does that all mean? Is the second wave coming? Will the vaccine be here in time? Who will get the vaccine? What are the side effects? So many things left unknown, but today we are talking about babies. What could be more joyful than bringing your own child into this world? And with everything that's going on, it still is a beautiful thing. So we will have a mom on with her first baby, and she'll share her stories on this whole craziness and what should have been the best time of her life and now possibly filled with a lot of angst and the unknown. But anyways, we're gonna wait to open the doors and welcome all of our great guests today. Graham is still on holidays, but he's doing a great job. Hi, Kirsten. Hey, is that Jessi? Hi, Jessi. And I think Susie's there too. Great. Yes, hi, Susie. Oh, it's good to see you. So we're talking, and first of all, congratulations to you, Jessi. A proud mama. So in this crazy, crazy time, I mean, wow, this is, it is a beautiful moment. And so I want to welcome Jessi Montgomery and, introduce us to your new baby. Just, you might be muted. You might have to unmute yourself, Jessi. You might have to just unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Yay.
Yeah, so this is Axel. He's a little bit fussy today, so that's why I kind of have him on me. But yeah, so it's amazing being like that. I'm a first-time mom, so this is a whole new experience for me. It's very, very exciting. So I'm learning as I go, just like everyone. But my background in fitness has really helped me through recovery and helped me feel a lot more confident.
Yes. So I just wanted to say that Jessi is with Flex Fitness and also like a fitness model too, as well as a trainer before that. Jessi, maybe just tell us a little bit.
Yeah. So I've competed in 5 bodybuilding shows. So I'm really specialized in building muscle tone, burning body fat, and basically getting as lean as possible for that stage presentation.
Right.
So fitness modeling kind of comes along with that, because I'm sure you see a lot in the magazines, people like super, super lean. You can see like all of their muscles. So yeah, so I've done lots of that in the past. So I've been doing that for about, I guess, 7 years now. I've been a trainer for 7 years. I started my bodybuilding shows basically right away as soon as I became a trainer. I've been with Flex Fitness for about 2.5 years now, and I'm originally from Niagara Falls, Ontario.
Wow.
Yeah, so I came all the way to Winnipeg. Actually, I was visiting Sandman Hotel, which is where Flex Fitness is.
Mm-hmm.
So I was visiting that hotel, and I had met Alistair, and he had mentioned that, he wants to expand Flex Fitness, and he wants to have a female trainer because he wanted to, open up the amount of clientele, because some women are just more comfortable having a female trainer. So especially with my experience in bodybuilding, and I have some experience in pre and postnatal training as well. So that was a big bonus. So yeah, so I've definitely learned to kind of apply the training that I have in the past with my current situation, but it definitely, you really don't know until you experience it yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So first of all, I mean, I guess this is a very unusual time, especially being pregnant and delivery too as well. So what was the experience like for you, I guess, Jessi, being pregnant and then, being thrown into this whole pandemic?
It was quite a shock at the beginning, because when it first all happened, I didn't really know what to expect. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to, deliver in a hospital normally. Like, it was a little bit of anxiety leading up to it. Uh, it was really nice being pregnant and being able to stay home though. Because if any of you have been pregnant before, you understand that it does get hard to move in the later days, and you get lack of energy. You're just more tired, your feet get sore. So being able to be at home and spend more time with my boyfriend and just have less stress, with work and stuff. So it was just really nice not having a super stressful schedule. Um, as crazy as it was with everything going on, I kind of learned to find peace within myself and just learn to you kind of cope with things at home and do my home exercises and just try and keep the stress as low as possible.
Yeah,
Uh,
no.
yeah, and yeah, so delivering in the hospital was pretty crazy. My mom actually, so as I told you, I'm from Niagara Falls. So my mom really wanted to be here for the birth of her grandson. So she had to self isolate for 14 days before she came to Winnipeg. She had gotten multiple COVID-19 tests, so she had gotten 2 tests, one in Niagara Falls and then one when she got here. And then we had found out that it didn't matter if she had self-isolated, it didn't matter if she had gotten the tests. She would not be able to come into the hospital regardless if she was coming from Ontario. Uh, so that was a bit of a heartbreaking situation, because I'm like, oh no, what if he's born early and it's not within that 14 days? And I really wanted my mom there just because she's been a really good support system for me.
Right.
So yeah, so she came in, or Axel was born on the 15th day of her quarantine. So luckily she was actually able to come into the hospital, but that was a bit of a crazy situation. And then in the hospital, I was only allowed to have 2 visitors. So my mom came and then my boyfriend stayed with me the whole time. And it was a little bit unfortunate though, because you always hear, walking is a great way to, move along labor. So I wasn't actually allowed to walk through the hospital or anything like that. So that was, I think, one of the things that made my labor so long. I actually was in labor for 3 days.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was crazy. So on that third day, I was just basically just in bed. I couldn't leave. I couldn't walk around or do anything. Um, so finally they were just like, all right, you know what, this baby's not going to come naturally. You gotta do the C-section. So I strongly feel like that's one of the reasons why my labor took so long, because I wasn't allowed to walk around the hospital or anything like that, which normally you would be able to do.
Right. Well, you couldn't do a few squats or a few jumping jacks there.
Uh, yeah, like I
Running
was
spot.
I was able to do the stability ball, like the yoga ball.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, so I was using that. I would kind of position myself in different positions on the ball, which kind of helped a little bit, but my body just wanted to walk. I just wanted to go, and I couldn't, and I felt like so held back because I wasn't able to do that. And I was walking before I went to the hospital.
Mhm.
So as soon as I got there and I just had to lay down, I was kind of just in shock. I was like, I want to move. I want to, get this baby coming out. But so yeah, I did do some things on the ball. I did do some squats. Actually, I did a few of those. I mean, they weren't very deep squats considering my belly was so big. But yeah, that was all I could really do, unfortunately. But and kind of
Yeah.
walk in circles, but it wasn't the same, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, he's very healthy and he's quite content.
He's very content. He was a little upset when I first started talking, but I think now he's soothed.
He wants to join in the conversation. Well, ladies,
Yeah.
and Susie, do you
Oh,
want
I
to?
have to say, look at this head of hair on your little guy.
I know, right?
I had a baby like that, lots of hair. Congratulations. And I guess
Thank you.
these little people will forever be known as possibly the COVID babies or the COVID
Yeah,
born during these times.
the
So
year of 2020.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Susie?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, good morning. Congratulations, Jessi.
Thank you so much.
It doesn't get any less special. A baby is always a wonderful thing. So, yeah, that's so great. And I just hope that you're feeling good and that you're taking care of yourself, because happy mama equals happy, healthy baby. So that's the most important
Yes.
thing.
Yes, for sure.
So let's talk about post-pregnancy, Jessi, and how you get your body back into shape. I mean, because that's your wheelhouse, right? Or is that not even a care right now?
Well, when actually I was, delivering, one of my biggest fears was having a C-section, because it is such an invasive surgery and they cut through your abdominal wall, and that to me scared me like crazy because I knew that it would be harder for me to recover from that.
Mhm.
But you know what? It's been 3 weeks, and I feel like I'm going on walks every single day, at least an hour walk. I'm able to, bend over, pick my baby up, move around freely with my baby. And I definitely believe that being so physically active throughout my pregnancy and before my pregnancy has allowed me to recover so much faster since having the C-section. So I'm very, very happy that I stayed physically active.
Mhm.
But I have heard some horror stories, so it definitely freaked me out. But it's not as bad if you are physically active, right?
Yeah.
So I can't do any exercise right now, so I can't really do that until I'm at my 6-week mark.
Mhm.
Although I feel like I could just get up and go right now, I need to, take it slowly and, just listen to my body a little bit more. But the main focus throughout my pregnancy and, once I hit the 6-week mark is going to be restoring my pelvic floor and transverse abdominis muscles. So your pelvic floor are the muscles that kind of get very weak when you're pregnant. They loosen, they stretch out. So it's very important to uh, focus on training those muscles throughout your pregnancy. It can actually, like I was saying, it can make you recover a lot faster and uh, make it a lot easier on your body.
Mhm.
So uh, I'm sure you've heard of Kegel exercises.
Yes.
So the Kegel exercises are a huge help. I know, just do your Kegels every single day when you're pregnant. I was doing them 3 times a day for at least 5 minutes at a time.
Wow.
And although it might not seem like that much, it actually is quite hard if you do it properly. So I'm really doing that. And when you're pregnant, you can't really train your core because your core muscles are getting very stretched out. So I actually developed something called Diastasis Recti. So it's very, very common in pregnant women. About 2/3 of pregnant women experience this. It's when your abdominal wall starts to separate. It's right around your belly button. So your rectus abdominis kind of separates a little bit. So that being said, your abdominals are going to be very, very, very weak after that happens. So you need to start training very slowly. So that's something that I've really had to listen to because I'm a bodybuilder. So I train very intense. I like to, sweat, and push my max every single time, but it's just not realistic going right back into that program. Even once I get the clearing for exercise, it's really important to just start things really, really slowly. So yeah, focusing on strengthening the pelvic floor muscles and your transverse abdominis, which is your lower ab muscles. So that's your deep inner core muscles that you can work on through breathing techniques and just really creating a mind muscle connection when you're doing certain exercises. And just keeping in mind even if you're doing something as simple as like a squat or a lunge, getting the breathing technique and connecting with your pelvic floor muscles is going to give you the most optimal results and prevent you from damaging those muscles more than they already have been during pregnancy.
So maybe when you talked about the breathing aspect of it, so is it inhaling as you're going, like say where you're doing a lunge?
Yeah.
Is it inhaling as you're going forward and then exhale, or how does that work when you're talking about?
Yeah, so say if you're doing a lunge, when you are going down, so I wouldn't start right off with like a forward lunge. Say if you're just doing a stationary lunge, just straight down, you would take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in, you want to kind of imagine your rib cage as a 360 umbrella, 360-degree umbrella. So you want to expand your chest, expand your belly, just get as wide as you can, fill everything up with air as you're going down into the lunge. Or sorry, at the top of the lunge, you do that, and then you go down into the lunge. And then as you come back up is when you push out, and then you push out through your lower belly, then your middle belly, and then release from your chest. And you want to imagine your belly coming up and in as you're exhaling out as you come up into the lunge.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I'm just trying to envision it. We might have to try it, but
I know. I wish I could just show you right now, but
I know you could just put them in a sling, and then you can, do your own Zoom kind of class for postnatal exercise.
Yes, and I've talked with Alistair, who's also with Flex Fitness. I've spoke with him about, sharing my my post-pregnancy exercise program. So
Yes.
I'll definitely be doing that, posting on my Instagram, and I would love to do another Zoom chat. We need to do like a group exercise class. Like I would love to share my my workouts with you guys, definitely.
Yes, So yeah, it was a question, and I'll leave it to Kristen and Susie to chime in too. But were there a lot of pregnancies when you're in the hospital?
You know what? It felt like a ghost town. It really felt like a ghost town. It was nice because I felt like I had lots of care from the nurses and the doctors.
Yeah.
And I believe they had the rooms spaced out. I wasn't able to leave my room, but I didn't hear anything going on. It didn't seem like there's many people in the hospital at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember actually pretty clearly when I was I was in the shower because they had given me a shower to kind of cope with the contractions and whatnot. I had hit the emergency button because they had, they said if I needed anything, just, press the red button, right? so I wanted the nurse to come help me for a second, and all I heard was like 6 nurses just run, because everything was just so quiet and empty. I just heard 6 nurses just run to the shower so fast, and they were like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" Like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just wanted to talk to the nurse. She told me that I could, press the button if I needed anything." And yeah, it's just that they didn't have many people in there, so all the nurses were just tending to me. It seemed like, anyways.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well,
Yeah,
Susie brings back.
Aren't nurses amazing?
they really are. Like,
Aren't they like,
I had such a good experience with the nurses. Like, they were so helpful, and you can tell that they were very, very passionate about their job and what they were doing. So that made me feel more safe, and it helped make the experience a lot more enjoyable.
I was always shocked that they did that every day. They would come home and do that again the next
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, I almost say, like, I'm kind of jealous. Like, you get to just touch all these newborn babies, like, every single day. But yeah, to be able to do that every single day with that amount of care, it's just amazing. Yeah, the nurses. I delivered at the women's hospital, the new one. Yeah, so that it was a really beautiful experience overall. The nurses made it truly memorable, for sure.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Susie, you got anything to add or ask?
No, just make sure that you have support and that you have people who can help you, and that you're not taking too much on by yourself. And honestly, if this is all you get done today, you have done an amazing job. There is nothing else that you need to do today except feed and snuggle that baby. That is number one.
Right.
And to not beat yourself up about whatever it is that you think you need to get done. Literally everything else can wait. You are doing fantastic, just being right there, doing exactly what you're doing right now. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. It's nice. It's nice to hear that, because some days.
Absolutely.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. What does he weigh right now?
He weighed 9 pounds 5 ounces last Thursday, but
Okay.
he's a chunkers now. I feel like he's got to be at least 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was 8 pounds 12 ounces when he was born. So
that's great.
he's a
Good.
very, very healthy baby. I'm very lucky, and he's pretty calm for the most part. And I truly believe that being active it has made him a calmer baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll be your weights for now.
Yeah, and I love it because as he grows, right, I'll just keep getting stronger, so I'll just have a constant increasing weight.
And you'll work your core muscles, because it's not just like a flat weight. He is like all over the place, right? So
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
wanted
I'm
to say,
sharing. Pardon?
I wanted to say, Jessi, in my old life, I actually taught fitness for 18 years. And with my second baby, I taught when I was up to 8 months. And my first
Wow.
baby, I didn't. I felt very sick. But anyways, you're so bang on when you say going into the pregnancy being fit and continuing to maintain that level of fitness with some level of caution. But
Right.
But you can do a lot when you're pregnant, as you know. And
Oh yes. Definitely.
the recovery and what your body does, and going back to where you were at, it just happens, and you'll absolutely get back to where you are, and your body knows what it's doing, and it takes its time to some degree. But I just remember feeling being so thankful that I maintained that level of fitness, because you go through labor, you have this baby, you have this responsibility, and you need to be strong, and you need to be capable, and you need to haul those buckets around and get up in the middle of the night and all of that. And I was grateful that I had that. So
yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah, just being able to handle the weight of the baby, like just having that strength to care for him and get up in the middle of the night and feed him, and or just even holding the baby in your arms, like it can be a workout if the baby's breastfeeding for like, 30, 40 minutes sometimes. Like it can be a workout for sure. You feel it. It definitely helps being strong.
Yeah. And the twisting of putting that bucket in the car seat. I mean, this is 20 some years ago. My children are so big now, though they're
Yeah.
adults. But just the twisting.
Oh, and then I
Yeah.
wanted to, like, I had like, the fancy one that what's her name had on that TV show, just with remember they were just the one handle thing and it was supposed to be ergonomic, and that was the worst. I ended up like with two hands kind of clunking around, bruises on my legs because the thing would be hitting me, and oh my God, that is the worst. Yeah, it's almost okay. Can you walk now and get into your seat, please?
I know, right? Can we just fast forward?
Yeah. Well, they grow up so fast. So
I know.
No, don't fast forward. Enjoy every moment. It's the best.
I know.
I wish I could smell that baby from here, but I'm imagining it.
Oh, yeah, the baby smell.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was and then Kirsten and Susie, I guess too. Remember when you wanted to first bring the baby out and the angst, and now poor Jessi, I can't, even come. Are you even planning on taking Axel out? Not for the next couple of months, or maybe not till Christmas.
Yeah, it's scary. Like I really am nervous to bring him anywhere public, really. Like we go on our walks in the stroller, which he loves. Like it just calms him right down. Actually, I'm probably gonna walk him after this because he's starting to get a little bit fussy. But yeah, it's definitely hard not going out because I feel like almost trapped in my house. So, but it is nice that I'm able, like it's such nice weather. Like I can't imagine if this happened, in the middle of Winnipeg winter where it's -40 and you're stuck inside just because it's so cold. Like I feel blessed that it's so nice outside that I can still experience the outdoor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's different times, eh, Susie?
Yeah, I found that with the first baby, you freaked out about everything. And by the time I had my third baby, she was like at a party, I think like 2 days after being born. So, but those were different times. Those were pre-pandemic times, right? So I think like right now, absolutely, it's about keeping, first of all, you healthy. And second of all, that means baby can be healthy, right? So
Exactly.
Again, if you talked about, how you're nursing and you're breastfeeding, babies getting all of those excellent antibodies and all those excellent things from you. And that's one of the best things you can do, number one. And number two is to really just kind of keep your bubble small, right? And to not be afraid to, I think we come from a time when people used to be kind of skittish about being a little bit germophobic when it came to their babies and stuff. But I was one of those people who would say, if you want to touch the baby, you have to wash your hands, number one.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Family members, right? It's just like, this is not being impolite. This is a matter of, just life and death right now. You need to wash your hands no matter what. And I think that that's just kind of, people have to be cognizant of that risk that's real, and to especially newborns, and to just be really extra careful. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
No.
Yeah.
And you picked the right province to have a COVID baby in.
For sure. Yeah, we're doing a lot better than some of the other provinces, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I guess too, I mean, your mom's seen the baby, and I guess who else? Like close family?
Honestly, really not too many people. Like my family's all in Ontario, so really the only person from my family that's seen him was my mom, and then my sisters actually came to visit for a few days. So again, they had to self-isolate for 14 days before they came to see him. And so I had them, and then my boyfriend's mom and my boyfriend's dad, and then I just have one friend that came to see him, and she's actually been helping me a lot. Like she comes over and she'll hold him while I do the dishes or do the laundry, or sanitize his bottles or whatever, right? So she's been a big help. But every time, you know, anybody comes over to touch the baby, wants to hold the baby, or before they even come in the house, like they sanitize and they wear a mask and they just wash their hands every single time, you know, they want to hold it.
Do you have a baby sling yet?
I do. I actually haven't used it yet.
Oh my gosh. Okay, those are amazing because I know
Yeah.
I didn't have it with my first because I didn't have anything else to do. So I just held them all the time. But with my second, I wore my second baby all the time because I needed my hands free. So, you know, to make lunch for the little, my other one, or even just to fold a little pile of laundry, whatever it was, that baby wearing sling was a lifesaver. So highly, highly recommend.
Yeah, okay. I gotta get using that then. It's one of those wraps, so I gotta
I know.
just learn.
I feel like I was going to end up in a pretzel every time I put it on, or I would get trapped in it. But no, it's a really great thing. And there's tons of Facebook groups that can help you with like some tips and some tricks about wearing them and how to use them, whatever. But they are lifesavers. They're so great. You know, really, your boyfriend could wear it too if he is so inclined. Like all those things just really kind of give you an extra set of hands to do things.
Yeah. You know what? Now that you mention that, I'm gonna make that my task of the day.
I'm so old that the one that I bought came with like an instructional video from DVD, but I'm sure you can find a video on Instagram on how to use it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. With nowadays technology, yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Pretty sure mine came with a VHS tape.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I just look at the thing and I'm like, how am I supposed to use this? Like, it's so long. It just looks like this crazy contraption. But I mean, everyone uses it, so it must work.
Susie, can you
And
position
it just keeps baby so happy. Sorry?
Can you position it differently so like it's on you
you
or
sure
on
can.
like a sling? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you
Gotcha.
can put them on your, depending on what age they are. For newborns, you want them flat against your chest and sort of close to your heartbeat, right? But as they get older, you can put them on your hip. You can put them even behind, like whatever you want, right? But
Wow.
it's basically just a long piece of fabric that you can, again, pretzel tie into any number of different configurations. And I'm sure you can even wear it as a dress after, I don't know, but it's just very multifunctional and it does an amazing job of giving you your hands back, really. Yeah, and keeping baby happy close to you. Yeah.
So I'm surprised he's a little fussy right now, but he's fine just facing away from you. Or no, his face.
Yeah, I'm trying to just switch it up. I find he gets bored, so he's got to.
He's not opening his eyes. He's just like, oh. Then he looks like passed out.
I know, he's like half asleep. He's like, he might just be like, hey mom, stop talking, I want to sleep.
I know.
Or he wants to be fed, whichever.
Yeah.
It's probably that time, actually. I'm starting to leak a little bit just hearing him cry.
Oh no. Well, you know what? If you have to go, Jessi, you know that's okay. I'll stay on with Kirsten and Susie for a little bit more. But my goodness. So we want an update on him too, and then when you're ready to do your postnatal exercises and stuff, we'll have you back for a full-on set and see how the baby's doing too.
Yeah, that would be great. I would love to share that with you guys.
Yes.
And you know, Jessi, like not just for you, but for any other moms who are watching, you may feel today that you're doing great and you know you've got everything under control, but there is nothing wrong with asking for help. New moms are going through so much physically, emotionally, mentally. If you need help with something, please reach out and let somebody else do your dishes for you while you go for a nap with your baby or whatever it might be. But I was on Twitter a couple days ago, and if I had my dream job in the future, it would be like a postpartum doula, which basically is you go in and help new moms, right? So it's like you go and rest, you concentrate on feeding your baby. I will make sure that your dishes are done, your laundry is done, you know, everything else like that. And all of those support systems really help. And even if you're not feeling, you know, great one day, next day will be better. And all of those support systems are there for you. And to just really reach out and ask for that help if you need it.
Amazing, yeah.
And you're doing great.
Thank you.
Oh, and your boyfriend must be so happy too.
Oh yeah, it was actually his first time ever holding a baby ever. So it was really cute, just, watching him for the first time, like hold him. He's like just this new dad, and he's just this whole new experience for him, but he's just loving it.
And so will Axel be a bodybuilder too? Or will definitely be something to do with fitness?
Oh yeah. He's gonna be coming into the gym with me as soon as I can. So we're starting him young.
Yes. Oh, what's so
I'm looking forward to and Alistair and I had talked, and he said, whenever you want to come work out, just bring Axel with you, and we can get him all involved too. So it's nice that I have that option to bring him into the gym with me. So that's good.
They're expecting a child in September. So
yeah,
Axel will have a little playmate.
I know. I'm super excited about that.
So no doubt they'll probably be starting like a baby kind of fitness class.
For sure. Yeah, they will be. They'll be hitting the ground running.
I just wanted to ask you too, Jessi, before you leave, is what is, I guess, not only to have health and happiness, but what are some of the things, hopes and wishes you have for Axel? I know he's just a newborn, but
well, I just want him to be happy and healthy. That's the most important thing, is that he's healthy, and that he takes on whatever task he wants to do with joy. And I don't want him to ever feel pressured to have to do anything. I just want him to do what he wants to do, and as long as it makes him happy, then I'm happy. And even if he doesn't want to be in the gym or whatever, if he wants to dance or whatever it is, right? I just want him to be happy doing it. And if I can inspire him to be healthy and active, then that's a bonus for sure. But I'm sure, because my boyfriend is also really into fitness as well, I think that it's going to be inevitable that he falls into that path as well.
Well, we won't make him suffer anymore. It looks like he is ready to have something or go.
He's hungry. Yeah.
He's pulling at your hair. He's hungry. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see you, Jessi. We'll keep in touch, okay?
For sure. Thank you so much for this chat. It was great meeting you all.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on, Jessi, and taking the time.
My pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Say bye, Abby.
Bye, Axel. Bye, Axel. Happy lunch.
So cute.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Kristen, you're right. That head of hair is amazing.
Oh, I know. I had one baby that had a full head of hair, and we left like patting it down from the hospital and trying to put barrettes in it to keep it down. And the other one that was bald, completely bald.
What about yours, Susie?
Full heads of hair, pretty much.
Yeah. Mine were
well, not so thick, but there was definitely hair. Yeah.
Not as thick as that. No, he's gonna be a big boy, a very big boy.
Yeah.
So you know what? I wanted to. There's a lot of things happening, and I know that we had Jessi on, so it was a very happy moment. But like, things are just getting. Are they going a little like mixed messages, craziness, like this whole border crossing thing? They, borders are closed, but no, how many cars are going through? Like hundreds of cars are going through across. Disney World open? Like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Did your kids, Susie, say, "Hey, let's go to Disney World"? No.
No, absolutely not. They're so glad that we went a few years ago when it was still okay to go. No, we're good.
Yeah.
No. Keep the border closed and keep Canadians safe. Yeah, yes. Absolutely.
And then, okay, so mandatory masks here in Winnipeg. Thoughts?
I've been wearing them forever. So.
Well, there was a protest a few days ago against it. But that's looking quite like it might be mandatory. And but yeah, so Susie, you just keep on wearing yours, right?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, my mom was in the hospital a few years ago with a near-death lung infection,
Right.
And so she is hugely immunocompromised already. My husband is also immunocompromised. And yeah, I'm just going to be wearing masks whenever I'm out in public and in a store or anything like that. And I think that it's the easiest thing that you can do to take care of yourself and to take care of others. And, you know, also, if we're looking at getting kids back to school sometime in the future, as a parent, you should be modeling that behavior for your children. And they'll take their cues from you and showing. I've seen little ones, like little ones, like 2 years old, wearing them at Safeway when they're with their moms, and they're doing so good. And I say to them, like, you're doing so great, buddy. Like, you know, whatever superhero mask or whatever it might be, like, good job, right? These kids are not, they're smart, they can do this. And these people, I'm interested by some of the Facebook posts that I see of, you know, people making fun of the kids and how they're gonna, you know, not use the masks properly or this and that. And it's just like, okay, but it's like any other safety thing that we have, whether it's a seat belt or a helmet or whatever, like, just teach the kids how to use it and they'll be fine with it, you know? I think that we need to normalize that activity and that behavior to move us forward through this pandemic and to prevent a second wave. And especially living here, like you said, Manitoba, we're very lucky living here. We don't have the same numbers that other provinces have, and let's keep it that way by doing those kind of behaviors.
I know, and the numbers are slowly rising again too in Canada. I mean, BC, there's a big outbreak again, and still Ontario.
We are just a few plane rides away from numbers increasing, so we really need to be careful. Really need to be careful.
I think if the science dictates that we need to wear masks, it's just that simple. And I watch the news from time to time. I try not to watch too much of CNN because it makes me crazy. But I don't understand the debate. Like, if the science is there and you need to wear a mask, I just don't understand. I guess it goes along with holding, you know, defending your property and owning a gun. I don't know, but it's a mask. Like, I don't understand it.
And like you said, you know, as we talk about, you know, the science is changing as we learn more about this virus and how it operates, and as we learn more about how they're, you know, using science to find a vaccine to battle this. The science is going to evolve, the science is going to change. So to say, you know, we were told that they weren't effective, okay, but now science has proved that they are effective. And so we need to adapt and change to that. I think that we need to be, again, doing whatever we can to protect not just ourselves, but the rest of our neighbors and citizens around us as well.
Yeah. You know, my daughter went into work this morning, my 22-year-old who does hair, and I drove her to work, and she was just having one of those mornings. And she actually just had a moment and had some tears. And she's like, you don't understand how hard it is to wear a mask all day while you're doing hair and you're blow drying, you're talking and you can't pull it down, and you're trying to be respectful and you're working within these parameters of what happens in salons. Does she ever think for a moment, I'm not going to wear a mask, or this is not, like, it's just that simple. So if somebody in that line of work can do that for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, I'm sure someone could wear their mask in the Safeway.
Yeah, no, yes. I actually too, on that, Kirsten, we were at Joey, and all of them had these clear masks on, like, so they're like plexiglass, but you could see, it was like from a distance, you could see their whole face, you could, you know, hear them, whatever, and it has like a little chin guard, and all of the girls said, this is so much better, so much better. You can breathe more because, you know, there's air going both in and underneath, but you still have that protective exposure there. But no, it's just putting on a real, I see a real downer, or like a stress, right? On all of those, you know, hospitality people.
Well, and the thing is too, is that, you know, I tweeted about this early on in the pandemic about how I'm seeing stories from retail, especially, of staff who work in retail establishments or restaurant or even hairstylists now, and people being abusive to these staff, right? And it's just like, I have no patience for that. I cannot stand by and watch you abuse an employee for doing their job, asking you to put on a mask in their establishment to keep everybody safe. Like, there's no reason any of that is necessary. And it's really time, I think, that employers and businesses step up and say, if you cannot abide by these rules, you cannot come back into this business. You cannot abuse my staff this way. And it's really incumbent upon employers to put their staff first, not the customer, but put your employees first and protect them. And if that means banning people from your store, then you have to do that. I'm sorry, but you have to put those employees first. They are being not just, psychologically and verbally abused, but every day, like you said with your daughter, going into work during this pandemic is an extra challenge, and they don't need any extra stress to make them doing their jobs any more difficult or scary. That's not appropriate right now at all, or ever, actually, not appropriate.
But it's causing
Totally agree.
Yeah, but it is causing a rift, and I think that's why, Kirsten, you're saying that you don't understand. It's just the math.
Is it a rift though? Because I think majority of people will abide, the rules, but there's always going to be that fraction of people who think that they're special, think that they're exceptional, or whatever it might be, and they ruin it for everybody else. Isn't that how we got here? Like, if only everybody would do what was best for everybody, we could keep these numbers low. Other provinces could see their numbers go down. Like, we need to think long-term here, not just short-term. And the reality is, people have been wearing masks in Asia for years. When I was there 30 years ago, people were wearing them. So like, let's keep some perspective on this. And it's not just even for, say, COVID, but I mean, even for cold and flu season, that could reduce the numbers of illnesses there for years to come, right? To keep that hand washing protocols in place, keep your masks on, and to learn how to live with this new, germ barrier kind of life, it would put us all in a much better place.
Well, I think, Susie, you're right. And I think it's just going to be a way of life, right? It's just something that you just do. You don't even think about it. You just put your mask on,
Yeah.
So until we can all, I don't know. It's just getting crazy. Kirsten, did you and Charlotte go to Hani's presentation, or?
We did not get there because Charlotte had a commitment she couldn't get out of. But I really enjoyed that episode and the conversations that came out of that. It's, again, I keep going back to, being so glad we live in this province and in Canada, as I watch things going on in other parts of the world and other neighbors that I won't mention of Canada. But, Canadians, I find, are just more open-minded and have a better sense of community and good for all. Maybe I'm naive. I know it's not 100% that way by any means, but I think there's a strong core belief amongst most Canadians about the good of the community and others. That I think is the difference between us and a neighbor of the South, which I won't mention.
And it's also just like being able to talk and chat and to have the conversation. So last week, Susie, unfortunately, you couldn't join us, but Hani was back on. And you know what? They're doing these different lunchtime series now throughout the summer. And it's really to engage conversation. So this last one was about reconciliation and what it really means. And they had representatives, Sandy Clayton and another gentleman too, but also giving the community a voice too, so they could ask questions. And then the next one I think would be really interesting is about, getting people to tell their stories about discrimination of any kind that they've felt or had. And they're having some quite well-known guest speakers too as well. But, all of these things and talking about them. And so Susie, this talk about the race to find a vaccine and, who will get it and, we won't know the side effects, for a long, long time. And I can see people that would be against taking the vaccination too. But, and here again, it's a simple thing. This is like a cure. But again, you're going to have that small percentage that are going to be raising the fears.
We can't give equal footing to scientists and to researchers and to medical experts. Dr. Rusin, who we listen to in our briefings every single day. I can't give the same level of respect and listening to somebody who has a YouTube education. Like, I'm just not going to do that with my life. Okay. So I respect science.
Thank you.
I understand that science evolves. I have vaccinated my children. I worked with nurses for years, and you're never going to convince me that a YouTube education is the same or a Google education is the same as everything that we're doing on this side. Like, that's just not how I see the world. And the fact that we give equal footing to these things and say that, oh, well, this side has to have, an opinion too. Yeah, no, actually they don't, because the scientists who have, millions of dollars of funding and peer-reviewed studies and everything else to go along with it, those are the people that I'm going to listen to. Thank you very much. Yeah.
And done. Okay. I know you didn't have to sell me, but I was just wondering how you're feeling there. But now, yeah, okay. Oh wow. And again,
I do know that.
I'm trying to be polite as I'm explaining this, but I think the face can tell you exactly what I'm trying to say. So yeah, let's be real about this, and that, there isn't both sides to this, and that obviously more research is needed, and people are doing that. Amazing people around the world are working in universities and in hospitals right now, every single day, trying to figure out how they're going to craft this vaccine to make it the most effective and with the least amount of side effects, all of these things, right? And to both sides, a conspiracy theory or anything like that, I have no patience for that. I have no time for that. I want to raise scientists and engineers in this house, in this city, in this country. That's what we need. We need more scientists, more engineers, more nurses, more doctors, not more YouTube conspiracy theorists. No, I don't need Canada's GDP to be relying on that. Thank you very much.
Oh, you just quashed everything now for all those people, Susie. You just dropped the big book on them and squashed them. But
I'm with you.
yeah, but but what's very disheartening is those are the things that get sensationalized and whatever, and then other conversations start, right? And then you just gotta go, okay, really, look at the source and where it's coming from.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, okay, so next week, I was thinking, the NHL starts again, and everybody's like, oh, yay, live sports. And the CFL, there's a good chance that it will start with a shortened season. And Winnipeg might very well be the home base for all the football games, which is great, right? Or not? I don't know. But we'll talk about it, because that means a lot of guys coming from all different sorts and parts of the country.
It means travel, right? It means travel.
It means
travel, outsiders, and yeah.
So anyways, and whatever new thing happens our way in this next little few days. But yeah, so we'll see you next week. Hopefully Charlotte can come.
Charlotte will be back. She couldn't come today, and she sends her regrets, but
We'd love to see Robin again and see what she's been up to. I know you girls have been really busy with all of the peer support, so that's always
yeah. Robin was on CJOB this morning talking about suicide. She always calls it the S word, so I haven't listened to that interview yet. But yeah, she's busy doing her thing, and lots of good things happening. And I'll pass that message along.
Yeah. She's always an inspiration. So
yeah,
always. It's so good to see you, Susie, and your beautiful JLo.
Yeah. It's me. So me and JLo have the same birthday, and it's actually this Friday. Yeah. So we're gonna celebrate our birthday this year. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, just make sure her husband is somewhere in the background next week.
It's almost Leo season, as I said on Instagram today. Yeah. So to all the Leos out there. Yeah.
Yay, you rock. Okay.
Okay, so till next week, we're going to wash our hands, wear our masks, and be good to each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.